Hello and welcome back to the Coaches Show on SportsNetUSA.net. My name is Ryan Osborn, and Fullerton College, well, it was a statewide bye. They end up going into the bye 5-0. They come out of the bye still 5-0, and they're going to go up against Grossmont. It'll be the homecoming game for Fullerton College. Pep rally on October the 13th from 11 to 1 p.m. in the quad here at Fullerton College. So right now we're here with the kicker for Fullerton College, Austin McGee. Austin, what drew you to the kicking position?
As a kid, I played quarterback and I played receiver. I played other positions, but I knew ultimately my only option to play college football was to be a punter, kicker, because nobody else was doing it. And, I turned into a craft, and I'm very proud of that because without that, I wouldn't be here.
Tell us the fundamentals that go into giving a solid punt.
I would say as a specialist, you don't play the other team. You play against yourself. It's a mindset. And it's like I said, it's a craft. It's something that you have to work on week in and week out. And, you got to factor in things like the wind. You don't have to factor in like a linebacker blitzing you or maybe keying on a quarterback, whereas you got to factor in a wind. Maybe it's cold, weather conditions. It's a different mindset. You're playing against yourself, like I said. It's awesome. I love it.
When you talk about the conditions and you have to take that into as a factor, before a game, how essential is the practice?
I love practice. A lot of guys hate practice, but I can't get enough of it sometimes, man, to be honest. I think preparation is key. I think the only time you feel pressure is and you feel scared in games is when you don't know what you're doing. And I think ultimately, when the preparation goes in right, you should always know what you're doing. And I think when that factor comes into play, I think that applies to us on the game field. I think as a team, specifically, we do a good job of preparation. I think we over-prep sometimes, but it's a good thing.
If you're lining up looking for a coffin kick, how do you aim it?
I'm going to Aussie it. I'm going to kick it like an Australian. I'm going to turn the nose up, and I'm going to punt it as high as I can so it backspins. And it's my favorite kind of punt.
You talk about Aussieing it. There are different methods of punting the football that some people don't realize.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's the Aussie punt. There's a traditional punt. We got guys out now rugby punting. I mean, if you look at college football, NFL, I mean, half the punters are foreign now, and most of them are from Australia. So, I mean, it's something that's evolved, but I think ultimately, at the end of the day, it's however, whatever suits you best as a punter. And I think I have my strong suits and I have my weak points that I need to work on. But, ultimately, we're in the season, and my goal is now is, be 1-0 when this week's over with.
What is something that you've been working on for yourself this year?
I would say, I had a tough time adjusting, going from playing in the SEC to going to JUCO. But I'd say, just the coaching staff and everybody else has made the adjustment easier. I'd say I've battled more problems in my head than I have anything else. But I'd say now I'm in a condition to where I'm prepared mentally more than anything. That's something that I've had to overcome is that mentality of just like, going from playing in front of 75,000 people to being in front of a crowd of maybe 2,000. It's nuts, but at the same time, you're still playing the game of football. I mean, and it's a blessing.
What's your favorite part of kicking?
My favorite part of kicking is the fact that I can play this game, go out, run on the field, enjoy what I do, and not have to worry about having concussion problems the rest of my life. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you, Austin. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Go Hornets.
So right now we're here with the offensive line coach for Fullerton College, Coach Trevor Waters. Coach Waters, we talked to you early on in the season. How do you feel your O-line has progressed?
I think we've gotten better each week, despite having some injuries. Guys have stepped up. Muhammad at right tackle has just really brought up his game when we needed it, and that's been big. And we're fitting well within the offense, and they're learning it, and each week getting better and better.
When you speak about the offense, how do you make sure that your guys are in position with a mobile type quarterback?
Just don't stop. That's all you can do. I mean, don't look back, Try to stick on your guy as long as you can, and don't ever turn around, because Jordan will find his own way. He doesn't need our help finding our way. He needs our help sticking on our guy.
Last year against Grossmont, you guys rushed for over 250 yards. How do you look against Grossmont this week?
I think they're a better team this year than they were last year. I think each week is going to get tougher. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be some challenges for us. But you know what? We got a lot of weapons, and if we play our game, I think we're going to do well.
Delton Crandall has been one of the guys on your offensive line. How do you think he's done as a leader?
Well, I'll tell you, and I was just actually talking about him. He's done well here. He didn't waste last year. He used last year to get better, and it's put him in a position to be in the starting lineup. And he's just a hard-working guy that wants to win. And he has shown good character and good work ethic, and that's made him have a successful year so far.
Last time we talked, it was about footwork. What has been something that you've been working on with him?
Well, footwork's a constant thing. You look at those guys. You look at someone like Emil and Nathan Trent and Matt Hanau. Those guys are physically gifted. Our job is to be able to teach them to get in position to use the strengths that they actually have, and that's where the footwork comes in. I mean, they are physically great athletes, and the idea is that you manage them to get them into position so that they can be successful.
You mentioned their strengths. With so many guys under you, how do you make sure you keep each one up on their skill set?
Well, we're lucky. We got two of us, me and Coach Felton. We split it up. I take the tackles, he does the guards. And, I mean, that's big. That's two sets of eyes, and it allows us to pay more attention to each guy.
When you talk about splitting up the tackles and guards, what are the two biggest differences between those positions?
Well, guards are going to pull more on the run blocking. I would say the biggest one, though, is the pass blocking. The tackles have a little bit different pass set because they have to deal with that wide rush. The guys that get wide and try to beat you with speed out of the corner. The guards got to deal more with bigger physical guys up the middle.
The spin move has started to make its way through the high school and college ranks a lot more in recent years. How do you defend against that?
Pass blocking, there's a lot of things we talk about in pass blocking, but most of it comes down to feet and hands. You take a guy like, let's say, Marshall Evans. He's a 6'5" guy. If he gets a good punch and keeps the defender off him, the spin is unworkable. The only time the spin can work is if you get into their body. So a good punch, keeping the defender off of you and using good footwork, then the spin becomes moot.
So quick off the line, is that something that's more essential?
No, it's all about the punch.
Okay.
It's all about using your punch to keep the guy off of your body. Once he gets into your chest, then he can rip, he can spin, he can do a lot of things. But if you have him out here, he can't do any of that. And especially, like I said, if you're a guy like Marshall or a guy like Emil with nice long arms, you're just keeping them, that's the old saying, you're keeping them at arm's length and they're never going to get to you.
Thank you, Coach. We look forward to your game on Saturday.
Me too.
So since we love to talk Fullerton College Hornets, the man who covers all things Fullerton College Hornets, once again, Vincent Garcia rejoins us here on the Coach's Show. Vincent, what has been happening with the Hornets?
Well, for some reason, this has been an off week, as you could say, because men's water polo didn't play. They were playing against Santa Ana last Wednesday, and it got canceled. Don't know what the reason was. All I know is that the game got canceled, and they got Saddleback tomorrow at 4 o'clock at home. Women's water polo, however, they beat Santa Ana. So, like every other athlete here at Fullerton College, they all say the same thing. It's great to beat Santa Ana because it's cross county. What do you expect? It's cross county rivals. It's pretty obvious that they just love the experience. In fact, Corey Edwards said that last week when I asked him about how men's soccer felt about beating Santa Ana, and then Corey Edwards just said it's always great to beat a county rival. And football, of course, with the key to the county, but enough of that. And in the tournament, the Ventura tournament to be specific for women's water polo, they lost the first game to Santa Barbara, but then they bounced back and beat El Camino, Mount Sac, and American River, and they got Riverside actually tomorrow. And I actually made a mistake there. Men's water polo will be playing Riverside too. So both men and women's water polo will be playing Riverside on tomorrow, Wednesday. And after that game, men's water polo will play in the Santa Monica mini tournament on Friday, and then they have Grossmont on Saturday. So a conference game. It's going to be key on Saturday. In cross country, they were in the San Bernardino Valley Invitational. Men took ninth. They finished ninth out of 10 teams. Women finished seventh out of 9 teams. And then this weekend, this Friday actually, at 10 o'clock, they got the Mount San Antonio College Invitational at Mount Sac. And women's golf, they tee off tomorrow at Alta Vista Golf Course for the OEC neutral match, and tee time is at 12 o'clock. Women's volleyball, still struggles going on, still looking for that first conference win. They lost both their matches, 3-0 to Saddleback and Irvine Valley. This week, they look to bounce back against Santiago Canyon on Friday. Still trying to figure out what the issue is, but it's just a really, really tough season for volleyball is all I got to say, in my words. And after snapping their losing streak to Citrus, women's soccer tied both their games. So they got the win against Citrus. Thought could be a bounce back, a little bit of improvement. It was a tie. They'll take it. They tied with Golden West, and they tied with Norco, both conference matches. And they actually traveled today to Saddleback. And this Friday, they have Santiago Canyon and 3 o'clock on Friday, if you guys are interested in going to that game. And men's soccer, they lost to Golden West. Yeah, magical season. It just
SEC.
just that.
5-0.
Yeah. Hey, at least they got some support. At least every athlete here supports everybody. So that's a great job right there, whoever walked by. And they tied with Norco, also Orange Empire Conference play, and they look to bounce back as they face Taft today, and they got Santiago Canyon at home this Friday. So that's what's been going on for Fullerton College athletics. Like I said, it's been an off week. Not much action, of course, with football being off and men's water polo, like I said. But I know what you're going to say next, Ryan. How are you going to listen to these reports? Well, remember how it was 6:20? Now it's twice. There's 2 times, 4:20 and 6:20. So if you missed 4:20, don't worry. You got 6:20 to hear it on 90.1 FM KBPK. If you're in Buena Park, La Palma, or Brea, it is, like I said, best areas to listen to. Or you can listen on the TuneIn app. Just search KBPK, and it's right there. Listen on your phone, listen online, whatever you like. You get to hear the reports. Fullerton College Sports Weekly.
And Vincent, those who have been listening to your show weekly, we know that you have a spotlight person that you interview each week. Who's up this time?
I got Tim Burns this week, and all I asked him about how's the bye week, what they did during the bye week, and he said that he just rested a bunch of guys because they got some bumps and bruises going. So yeah, they actually got the weekend off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, according to Coach. And he also said that Grossmont, he said he's not really focused on Grossmont. He wants to focus more on the team. He tells the guys every single week, it's all about us first, and then we'll focus on the teams on the weekend. That's basically the game plan this week for Fullerton College football.
So there you have it. That's the Fullerton College Sports Weekly update here on the Coach's Show. And since this is the Coach's Show, we are on SportsNetUSA.net. Teams here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, let's start it off with the games that are going to go on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, a 1 p.m. start. That's Fullerton College. They're going to go up against Grossmont in that homecoming game. Once again, that starts at 1 p.m. There's going to be a pep rally here on the campus of Fullerton College. Make sure that you check out the athletic webpage for Fullerton College, because if you buy your tickets at the pep rally, you can get a free bus ride from Fullerton College out to the game at Nathan Chappelle Stadium on Saturday afternoon. That's right, a free bus ride from this campus out to Yorba Linda. But once again, you have to buy the tickets at the pep rally. Then you go to 6 o'clock at night. Well, that's Golden West football. They're going to have a tough time against Saddleback, #1 team in California, going up and into Labard to face Golden West. Golden West right now at a 1-4 clip. Coach Nick Mitchell looking to return to his winning ways against the #1 team in California. Also, LA Valley is here on SportsNetUSA.net. They'll be coming up next week, but this week they end up going up against LA Pierce College, fierce rival, the Victory Bell match. And LA Valley thus far is 5-0, and they're ranked #1 in the American Conference. In fact, they're now ranked number 17 overall in the state. For Vincent Garcia, I am Ryan Osborn, and this has been the Coaches Show on SportsNetUSA.net.